What's up, everybody? Welcome to Fantasy Sports Now. Today we're talking about the closer report as of 4/22. I like to jump right into the content, not waste your time. If you want to go watch an hour video on this, then go do it. But we're going to make this under 10 minutes, so let's just jump right into the content, all right? First, I'd like to start with graduates. These are guys that I've been talking about for a while. These are guys that no longer need to be talked about. Talking about Alex Reyes and Mark Malanson. These two guys have come in and dominated. If they're not owned in your league, they're not going to go anywhere. The only one I'm mildly worried about is Alex Reyes. He has been walking a few guys, and he's got, Jordan Hicks just waiting there in the wings. So that hasn't come up yet, but if it does, we'll take him off the graduates list. But right now, I am confident that Reyes isn't going to lose his job without some kind of major incident happening. So these guys I don't like to spend too much time with. We're here for the battles, and these guys are not in a battle anymore, in my opinion. Next, I like to look at the clear leaders before we actually do get into those battles, which is why I think we're all here. These guys have emerged essentially as their clubhouse leader. Now, Castillo at the bottom did blow a save last night, but it doesn't seem like they have much interest in going to Peter Fairbanks anytime soon, really. Despite the blown saves, he has pitched pretty darn well. You can see the ERA. Obviously, don't base everything off ERA, but a lot of strikeouts. Hasn't walked too many guys, and he still looks good. They're giving him the ball in the ninth, just like Kennedy and just like Garcia. Garcia has looked really, really good. I mean, just look at the stats here. ERA under 1. That's crazy good. And Kennedy hasn't walked a single guy yet this year. So I think that Ian Kennedy is a great story. He kind of was gone, and then he came back a few years ago as a closer, and then he was gone again, and then he barely made the team, and now he's closing, and he's pitching really well, and he's taking that spot. So now, let's get into what we came for, which is the battles. This Cleveland battle, which has been a thorn in everyone's side. I don't even think I changed this one. It looks like Emmanuel Clase has taken the spot. It seems like it's his right now. It seems like what they really are doing is they're having Karinchak come in as more of a setup man, which is not what we all wanted to hear. I took Karinchak. I was big on Karinchak. It didn't end up happening. It looks like Clase is their guy. I don't know why they're doing it this way. For a little while, Whitgren came in, and it was like, okay, maybe Whitgren's going to be the closer. In fact, they even said that he was going to be the closer, where he struggled the most out of all of them. And so he's kind of the third man out at this point now, and it really seems like Clase is the guy that's going to get the closing opportunity, which, again, he's actually available in almost every league, at least that I've seen, which is kind of crazy. Going into Toronto, which is an absolute mess. I think the last one we did of these, we talked about Merriweather going on the DL, so it's going to be Jordan Romano again. Well, Jordan Romano, I think, went on the DL that same day. Now, it sounds like Romano's going to be coming back pretty soon, where Merriweather is going to be out for an extended period of time. They're talking like all-star break extended period of time. But until either of them come back, I don't think Romano's guaranteed to have this job anyway, because, Rafael Dolis has done pretty well. He hasn't really had a save chance, and in fact, the save chance that they did have went to Anthony Castro, which is very interesting. So for me, from a fantasy perspective, this is just a giant mess, and I'm just going to avoid it because I don't really like Dolis or Castro enough for me to warrant adding them versus other guys that are available right now. And I really don't trust Romano to come in and just take that spot like it's his. Moving on, Detroit, we always got to throw these guys in there, hometown squad here. It looks like Soto has actually looked better, but the opportunity is still being split between Garcia and Soto. So, again, I'm just avoiding this. There's so many better options right now than anything in Detroit, and in fact, I'm just going to basically skip over this, take one last second to look at the stat line. This is why I think that he's pitching much better than up here, but that's about it from me there. Cincinnati, we've had this one on for a long time. I think that I'm officially ready to say that I think Amir Garrett is done as being the guy they bring in the ninth. Last night, he came in again, and he gave up 3 runs. The game on Saturday, they got postponed. He blew that save. He has not looked very good. 9 earned, 7 walks. He's throwing a lot. It's just he's all over the place. He's giving up dongs. It's not looking good. And Lucas Sims has been better. He hasn't been great, but he has been better. And it seems to me that they want to use Sims in high leverage more, but I think they're at a point now where that high leverage is become the ninth inning because Garrett can't get the job done. So if you're in deeper leagues or in desperate shape, Lucas Sims might be an ad, a speculative ad, especially if it's free and you're that desperate. But there are better guys out there, so you'd have to be pretty desperate. But I think Sims finally takes that job now. And when I'm talking about better options, Lou Trevino seems to be a better option. I think he's available in a lot of leagues as well. Dykeman had the job. It was his. It was supposed to be his, and he was supposed to just take it. It hasn't really quite happened because Trevino has actually looked a lot better. Dykeman came in the other night. He did get a save because they brought Trevino in the 6th inning, and Dykeman came in the 7th to close. But it seemed more like they brought Trevino in to save the game because there was runners on and all that stuff. And Dykeman almost blew it in the 7th. So it was one of those where it was like, okay, what was it? I think they hit a shot off the wall. It was going to go off the wall, and Canha caught it like on the wall. So Dykeman almost was like 2 inches away from blowing the save. So to me, Trevino is available in a lot of leagues. They like to go to Trevino. They like to go to him late, and I think that he's going to continue to get more save opportunities than Dykeman does. Last one that I want to talk about feels like it went really quick, which is great. All of a sudden, we have a little bit of a battle going on in Seattle. I think Montero was supposed to be the guy, and he has not pitched that poorly. To be fair, he really hasn't, but he has 3 blown saves already. So it's kind of one of these weird ones. You give up 1 run, that's a blown save. You know, he's only given up 3 runs. He has 3 blown saves. So they're starting to bring in Graveman a little bit to take over, not to take over those spots, but Graveman has been absolutely dominant, and he got 2 save opportunities this last week. Montero got the most recent one. So I guess what I'm getting at is I think that it went from this is Montero's job to we might start splitting this role, which is not good for Montero, obviously, and is great for Graveman. This is another one that if you're super desperate or if you hear that one of them goes down with an injury, then the other one might be worth a speculative ad. So it's something to keep in mind, guys. And actually, you know what? I lied. I'm thinking about it. I got one more here. I got Arizona. Good old Arizona. So Soria's kind of on his way back. You know, this Wednesday it said that he was on the way back, but I haven't seen an update on that since. And so I don't expect. I thought he'd be pitching this week, but apparently that wasn't the case. So it looks like maybe next week he might be back. But until then, Christian seems to be the guy. Devenski is still like on this personal IL list. He blew a save and then went on this IL list. And Christian has come in and done quite well. You know, not the greatest, but he's done quite well. So if you're looking for saves now, Christian's probably not a bad option until Soria comes back. I assume he'll take the job, and I think Soria is going to take a little while to come back. And I'm not so convinced that Soria is just going to have the job if Christian can hold it down. So that's it for this week, guys. Appreciate all of you guys. Hit that sub button. We'll see you next time.